Hello, empowered woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. This is a short and sweet one, and I'll get straight to the point. Persistence is good, but consistency is better. Let me share why I believe the two are different and how lack of consistency, even if you've been persistent and determined, is making your progress and success journey a little bit longer and slower. Let's learn to work smarter and not harder for the things we want. And it starts with persistence, but it has to continue with consistency. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Empowered Woman Podcast, the #1 show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to start believing in yourself, giving yourself permission to succeed, and let your voice be heard to make an impact in the world as an entrepreneur, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode.
You guys, I'm recording this from an unusual location, so the background noise may be a little bit different, but I trust that if you've been listening to me for a while, this is not going to deter you from continuing to listen. I wanted to record this because I've had some light bulb moments recently, and I will share more about, me being away, and it's just amazing how your head and your brain can process stuff when you're not in your usual environment and you have some more time to think. But the idea for this episode and for this topic really began when I was having a call with my coach, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing here on the show. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, that I am working with him one-on-one, Gary Barnes. He's amazing. And I had the opportunity to speak on stage at one of his events earlier in January, and I cried, obviously, but he called me up on stage to share a little bit more about what working with him is like, and of course, for me to share a little bit more about me and my business, and I've made amazing connections that way. And one of the things that I love so much about him is how he reassures me. He's really become kind of like a father figure for me, and in one of our calls recently, with me, feeling discouraged with everything going on in my life because my husband getting injured. And at times it just feels like we have this expression in Portuguese that says like you're skating on ice, but like you're not getting anywhere, like you're moving, but you're not really getting anywhere, which is, the infamous spinning your wheels. But that imagery just came to mind of just slipping on ice and not getting anywhere. And every time I have shared, where I am, what I'm doing, he's always reassuring me that I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I'm actually improving and doing amazing things. And that's what is amazing about having a mentor, is having someone to, yes, steer you in the right direction, but also encourage you to look back and see the things you've accomplished in such a short time. And I don't know about you, but I tend to be really, really anxious to be farther along. And I know many of us are like that too. And in one of our calls, I was in tears, and he even got a little bit choked up, saying, "Marta, you don't understand. Look at all the things that you've done. Being an expat, just achieving so much, being a triplet mom, and still doing so much." And I don't remember, and it even gets me a little bit emotional too. I don't remember exactly what it was that he said, but as he started talking, I remembered this verse in Luke 16:10, which I didn't know where it was. I looked it up, but it came clearly to mind, that says, "Only if you're faithful in little will you have the opportunity to be faithful with bigger things." Or another way of saying it is, if you can be trusted with small things, you will be trusted with bigger things. And that is something I have been reminding myself ever since that call. Whenever I get anxious or whenever I start beating myself up that I should be doing more, that I'm not enough, essentially, I am reminded that it starts small. Everything has to start small. And that is what this faithfulness is. And then I understood, because in my head it's like, man, but I have been faithful. Why can't I have more? And then I understood, something clicked, that I have been misunderstanding persistence or consistency with persistence, because I am very persistent. And while persistence is being consistent with not giving up, it's not necessarily being consistent in doing what it takes to move forward. So I wanted to bring this to help you reflect right now. If you're frustrated with where you are, like you should be farther along, pay closer attention. Are you just being consistent with not giving up? Or are you really being consistent with the things that are going to take you further? Because now, looking back in my business in the last 4 years, I see that I have been extremely persistent. Yes, I haven't given up. And with many things in my life. This is one of the things that whenever somebody says, what do you pride yourself in? What is something that you really, really love about yourself, or something that you're really good at? I always, 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, say my persistence. I am very determined. And that has gotten me a very long way, 100%. That has gotten me married. That has gotten me, my degrees, triplets. But now I see that there is a difference between persistence and consistency. And that is really the ticket to move you forward, because this is what I see that happened. The shift that happened in my business last year in 2020 was that I wasn't just persistent. Ooh, can you hear the plane? I wasn't just persistent. I was actually consistent with things that move my business forward. Because before, I was being persistent and not giving up. But I wasn't necessarily doing the same things, engaging my progress and being analytical about the things that are moving me forward. And this is what I've been seeing and telling my clients, is that we tend to overcomplicate things and to add way too many things to our plate that do not make us money, that do not increase our connections and our relationships in a smart way. And so we're busy, so we think we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but we are spinning our wheels. And that's because even though we're not throwing in the towel, we're not being smart about the things that are going to take us further. So that's why we don't go further. We're still doing great things, but our journey is a little bit slower because we fail to see the things that are actually going to move us further. And that's because we tend to keep ourselves way too busy, because we think busy is success, and it's not. And for me, especially with, hiring a VA this year, seeing how delegating has changed everything for me, and how I have been able to be away and still get things done because I have someone helping me. And it's all been a growth process. But so what I wanted to share with you is paying attention that every day when you sit on your computer or when you grab your phone to work on your business, what are the things that you're spending the most time with? And it's so basic, right? I'm sure you've heard other people talk about this and talk about time management, but sometimes it takes a specific approach to actually help you see these gaps, to be able to fix them and to be able to work smarter and not harder. And so just the other day I was talking to a client, and she was telling me, I'm lost. I don't know if I should promote a course, if I should start a membership, because I've been trying one-on-one, and then I tried a group program, but I don't know. And she was telling me all these different things. And I said, and she said, should I start a podcast? And I said, don't overcomplicate this. I think it's great to have conversations, but instead of trying to launch a whole show, if you're not making money and you don't have clients, interview some people in your Facebook group. Just make it simpler on yourself and create an easy offer that you can start putting out there so you can start making money, even if it's a founding members launch for your membership and it's like $17 a month. It is so much more empowering to work for somebody that's paying you, even if it's $17, than it is to do things for free. And I say this because I've done things for free for a very long time, and that makes you resentful for your business. So I guess this is my very first tip. If you're not bringing money in, but you're still keeping going with your business, there is a little bit of resentment there. So being smart about it is creating something that is going to get you clients. So it's going to get you some wins. It's going to get you some testimonials. It's going to get you some practice. And that's what's going to keep you moving further. And I think this is what most people struggle with, is that they're not bringing money in. And so they get busy with other stuff that is not bringing them clients. And so it's really a vicious cycle of attempting different things that don't really get you anywhere. So that's the first thing. Pay attention if that's not what you're doing. And then second thing is figuring out exactly what's making you get those clients, make those sales, and spending more time doing that. And it seems so obvious, but I'm telling you from personal experience, we tend to get distracted and not focus on that. And then we think the problem is the economy, the problem is the algorithm, the problem is that you don't get support from your family. And it's really a lack of focus on your part. And then you think, but I am focused, I'm persistent. But wait a minute, you're not being consistent with the things that are going to get you further. And so, of course, I have to do a shameless plug in here to say the Engage to Serve method really helps you get clear on how to reach the people that need what you have so that you can bring those sales in. And I'm not saying this just to brag, because I have over 40 members in the Empowered Woman School right now who are gaining so much clarity on their ideal client and how to approach them with their content and how to increase their sales. It's for real. It's for sure that what you need is to get clear on what you can teach. This is what the Engage to Serve method does. It helps you with understanding your audience, but more than that, it helps you with the clarity on what your expertise is. Because then you can speak about that over and over again, hammer that in your own head and your audiences. They can catch on how you can help them, and it's going to be a no-brainer to want to work with you. So my advice for you today is, let me wrap this up. I said it was going to be short. I could talk for forever. Pay attention if you're not just being persistent, because it takes persistence, yes, but it takes consistency with the things that are going to bring you more sales. And that's what makes you more excited about your work. Honestly, you have to see that return. Otherwise, you're resentful and you are persistent, but it's not the same thing. And then pay attention to the things that are going to get you more clients so you can focus on that instead of spinning your wheels with other stuff that seem amazing but are not going to get you any further. And I can help you with getting clear on that with the Engage to Serve method, and you just have to join the Empowered Woman School. As soon as you join us, you get access to the Engage to Serve method course, to the whole course. And there's some bonus stuff in there with examples from clients, so you see exactly how to implement this. You also get a 30-minute one-on-one onboarding call with me where I help you focus exactly on what you need to focus in your business depending on the stage that you're in, so that you can start bringing more sales, so you can start engaging your audience more. So you get a ton of support, $37 a month. Try it for a month. If it's not for you, you can cancel at any time, but I look forward to helping you grow in your business and not just be persistent, but actually be consistent, because that's what makes that constant flow of clients and of money coming into your business. Was this helpful? Let me know. And remember, only if you're faithful in little will you have the opportunity to be faithful with bigger things. If you can be trusted, my friend, with small things, you will be trusted with bigger things. Just believe that. I'm so excited for you. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if it was clear, the difference between being persistent and being consistent. Take that into account. Examine your life, examine your business, and let me know your thoughts. And if you're interested in joining us in the school, just check out the link in the show notes. But if you just go to martaspork.com, you will find all the information. Until next time, bye.